Hi friends, welcome to, I'm gonna try to figure out the lighting here. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. I have a beautiful friend joining me. Ooh, yeah, that's better, okay. All right, so I have a beautiful friend, Benita, who's gonna join me today. Let me just bring her on and then we'll get started with this question. What is bankruptcy perfect for? Well, you guys are going to find out why it's been perfect for us. And we would love feedback, questions. Let me just check and, oh, yeah, let me add. Yes. Yes. Okay, here she comes, guys. We've been trying to do this live for like months, it feels like. And finally, the time is now. The time is perfect. So Benita and I, well, Benita just, well, I'll let her tell you, but she just finished, completed her bankruptcy filing, and I am about to go into mine here pretty soon. So we're kind of at different places, but we found each other at such a perfect time to support each other through, through this whole process. So it's been really beautiful, and I'm still waiting to add her. So yeah, we're both going to talk about why bankruptcy has been perfect for us to sort of take out the stigma, the taboo of even talking about it. I guarantee if you ask your circle of friends and family, at least one person you know has filed for bankruptcy. And I imagine they would say it was, at least on some level, a really, really, really huge gift. Okay, Anita, sorry, sweetie, I don't know what's going on. Let me try to add you again. Happy Thursday, guys. You know, we are almost, is it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. You know, when you work for yourself, you kind of forget the days. Okay, it's adding Benita. So I can, while we're waiting for that, I am just going to start, and I can, oh, there you are. Woohoo!
Yay.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, Benita.
Hi.
How's it going?
Really good.
Good, good. And you know,
Wonderful.
I do believe that your friends are also going to be able to see that you're going live too. So I think we can, yeah, perfect.
Exciting.
So this is Benita's first Facebook Live. Woo! Congratulations.
It is. Thank you. I'm very
Just popped
excited
the
to.
bubble. And now you can hop on anytime.
Yep. I'm very excited to
Yeah.
communicate more in this way and share. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I was just sort of prefacing our video today. We were talking about why and how bankruptcy has been perfect for us.
Yep.
And I was sharing that we've each had our own experiences. You just finished filing like not that long ago, and I'm sort of in the beginning processes of filing. And yeah, would love for you to share your experience. And we also preface this, guys, with like, you're not a person and you're not the body. And so where we're coming from is very different than like a 3D, like all of this stuff is real, right? We're in the illusion, and bankruptcy is also a beautiful creation within that illusion, that if we actually like look enough and sit enough with it, we can find all the beautiful gifts that are there for us. So
Yeah.
yeah, Benita, take it away.
Beautiful. So the last over a year for me has been a period of incredible transformation, and part of that was this process of decoupling from these matrix beliefs and systems that are all incredibly limiting. And one piece of the puzzle for me was the financial piece, and really wanting to shine some light on the shadows there and the murkiness and lack of clarity, thinking, with thoughts and the associated emotions that like I didn't have enough information, or what were possible solutions available to myself and my family to increase abundance and manifest in more open and flowing ways. And so I hired a financial advisor during a period of time when I left my career a very long time, and hired coaches, and knew I wanted financial support and help as well. And I have this amazing financial advisor who was like, you're starting your own company. In terms of how my husband's business was positioned as well, it just made sense in this very small window moment in time where the debt that we were carrying could be forgiven, because on paper for that period of time we weren't generating any income. I chose to use our savings to invest in that period of time and to just explore and see what then came from a professional expression perspective, and coaching ended up coming up as the way in which I am now of service to others. But that took time to ramp up. And so in that period of time, my financial advisor was like, what about bankruptcy? And I'd been so deeply in intuitive decision-making and excitement-based decision-making that when she suggested it, I was so excited. My gut went clenched, which for me is a moment of excitement, like in an excited way. And I said to her, oh my God, like that's the best idea ever. I would have never come to that on my own. The matrix constructed belief system around something like that would have told me that I was bad. I mean, for lack of a better word, like I was somehow less valued as a being, or would be admitting some failure, or and there are various reasons why we had the debt that we had, but a lot of it revolved around being a support to other people in our lives. So there was this interesting, just like excitement around it. Like I would have never thought of that. I would have thought that that's something, again, that's just got all of this negative stuff attached to it, and I couldn't possibly do that. So the suggestion from her came and felt really divine. Like, this is why the universal energy connected us, and yes, we should do this. So I ended up then forming an LLC for my business and doing all of, like, putting steps in place to just make sure that the growing of that was separate financially. And she then introduced me to a really great bankruptcy attorney. And then during that period of time, getting all of those things set up, the person, the body, the limited being started to like chatter a bit more. There was like sort of the momentum of the excitement and just knowing intuitively it was the right thing to do, and that this tool exists in this current matrix world, but that it is a valid tool that many individuals and businesses use to reorganize their financial situation. There's no shame attached to it, that many, many, many more people do it than a lot of people don't talk about it because of all of the societal sort of negativity attached to it. So I started to learn more about that in the process, and it's been so helpful and beautiful in working with clients as an example of like a barrier-based leap that can be taken if we don't attach to our thoughts and our feelings, which are generally swimming in fear of some kind. So there's just this whole process and this whole arc of like being excited about it and then kind of having it on pause, and then the person kind of wanting to tell stories about it. And for me, one of the stories that's played throughout my life has been sort of being perfect, or being the, working hard and being enough and proving that I need to be enough. And so this was definitely shown the light, it was like shining a very bright light on those old beliefs, and really being able to walk through it, knowing at the end, and I did have to walk through it and kind of see at the end that, again, none of that is true. I am enough. We are enough. We are infinite. But yeah, the not paying, the bills at once I had filed and had committed to that was like, that took a lot for my person to relax into and breathe into and know it was part of the process. And that was an absolutely valid part of the process because I had committed to, filing. When even like saying that, like something's valid or not valid, it was just a part of the process. But like my person needed to know that I was like still okay in doing that. So it was very humbling. And then now ultimately freeing, like looking back and seeing, wow, look at all the stories at play, and all of those attachments to like what what do these people at you know, these credit card companies think of me? They don't. It doesn't matter. And what if they
They
did?
don't, exactly.
But they don't. And someone close to me also kind of broke down from a legal perspective and from a business model perspective. These organizations are you know, obviously very well versed in the projections for the year, and they project for X amount of people having their debt forgiven, you know, and it's discharged. This debt is forgiven, it is discharged, you know, when a case is made that's appropriate for it to be done. So based on all of your personal financial details for Chapter 7, I filed Chapter 7. And it's baked into the system. It's there for a purpose. People are allowed to reorganize their lives financially. So there's really interesting aspects to the matrix system that we can utilize if we can detach from the beliefs that maybe, you know, society has attached to these options.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many things there, that so many little gems that we can go to. But when you first started talking and you're a financial advisor, like just even brought it up to you, like, hey, an option is bankruptcy, that probably your mind hadn't thought of, right? Like it wasn't something you had thought of. And you immediately got like, oh, excited, like, oh, is that a possibility? Because the mind wasn't involved. It wasn't like, you didn't go through all the things first, all the stories, all the bullshit thoughts. It was just there.
Yes.
And for me, I had the same experience when I didn't talk to anybody about it. I was just like cleaning my house or something, and it sort of just dropped in, like, you could file bankruptcy, Tara. And I was like, huh? What? I can't? Yeah. And I got so excited and so lit up by it. And I was like, huh, that is so interesting and so cool. And so as we both do, you know, following that guidance, like, because we know, oh, that's higher self, that's guidance, that's intuition, that's the knowingness before we go here. And then of course, yes, you know, we go up here and we're like, huh, what? Should we do that? And I remember when you and I first started talking several months ago, and of course I had mentioned it in one of the groups we're in, and you were like, oh, me too. I was like, yeah, of course. And then we came together and talked, and something you said that was so beautiful and really helped me to actually release some of the energy around it was, and I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was in regards to the energy, if we look at this, we can look at this in the matrix, you know, yes, it's a legal thing. It's a beautiful tool. There's no shame. There's nothing to worry about around it. And on the energetic level, like if we hold on to this debt energetically, it's almost like this huge brick, like bag of bricks that we're carrying around.
Yep.
And you were moving from a corporate job into this new expression of source through you that wanted to come through, and to hold on to that and like pay that back. And I know it can sound weird to some people, like, but you're shirking your responsibility or whatever. But we know that's not actually, you know, that it doesn't work that way. Even though I've had the question, like, well, who pays that back? Does the government, do we end up paying that back through taxes? Like, who pays back your debt, you know? Like,
the high interest rates that we've been paying already.
Right. I'm like, no, the companies actually, they eat that. Like that's, and like you said, they put that into their projections. Like they really plan for that. So it's like, if we look at it on all the different levels, like it can be and is this beautiful tool, this beautiful gift. And so what has it been like so perfect for you, Benita, and creating this like experience for yourself?
I'd say that the first thing that comes in loud and clear, sort of in the prioritization of being perfect for a few things, is being of service to others, which is part of why I wanted to do this and go live and talk about it, is that anything we believe another may think poorly of us for, but that is something that could be incredibly freeing to us, and this can take many, many different shapes and forms. You know, to not do it for that reason is only holding us back from our infinite, beautiful potential. And so you know, for anybody that I'm working with and for just friends and family and other people I'm talking to, and there's like a moment to potentially take a risk, but it might mean shifting an allegiance to a former belief system, or detaching from like what would that person think, or that organization or institution, and being able to free oneself from that. Like, it has been so perfect for playing with that and experiencing it from this being's like deep experiential perspective. I find in being present for others and coaching others and just being available, it's really fun to go through these experiences. There's certainly hard moments. I had, you know, a day of tears. Like, there was definitely like that fear that needed to come through and process, but the memory of it all is fun. It's like, wow, there's like a like, be the hero in your own movie experience. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this and see what happens. And so going through that experientially has just provided a lot of context and a lot of like deeper knowing and excitement in terms of sharing what's possible for others. So I think that's like the highest, what is this perfect for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I actually resonate with that so much. That piece of like, is this going to allow me, this vessel, to serve more? Right.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
and I did the same, like I filtered it through that too, like
Yeah.
feeling into, okay, if I do versus if I don't, am I going to be able to serve more, you know, if I do? And yeah, absolutely. The answer is yes. And so all those people out there that we're going to be able to serve now at this higher level, like in a higher reality, because we chose something that felt right for us and we followed that intuition, is like, I mean, imagine a world of beings who just follow and have no, like, imagine if you didn't even know the stories about, say, bankruptcy or
Yeah.
something else that's super taboo. Imagine if it wasn't even like on your radar and you
You
just
just do it.
followed what felt good. Wow.
Yeah. And to your point, I think the next sort of what is this perfect for, to your earlier point about sort of the flow around currency, you know, and that our current, the way in which we currently show value or express value is through the exchange of fiat currency that currently exists in the world. And that does have an energetic imprint on it, right? So we value something, so we then present currency to that service or that person or that, you know, company or whatever for the exchange. In being so weighed down by past, you know, financial experiences, we're then not allowing ourselves to be more free for the more clean and clear experiences that I found now happening for me in terms of that kind of, or for, you know, this experience, for that kind of exchange. And so to like release that block is also something that has like felt like, wow, this is really perfect for that. And that was a dark, shadowy weight for at least the last 6 or 7 years. It's like, wow, to carry that weight for that long, like, I don't feel that now. I don't think about that now.
Right. That's so beautiful.
And then that energy can only be helpful.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little bit of a lag, Benita. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what you just said about just the whole like energetics of it, and the paradigm shifting, and you and I and other people in this space who are, you know, maybe filing bankruptcy or just having the willingness to see the system differently or to imagine a different kind of system or a different way in which we can exchange value. You know, that is, we're doing it for the collective, right? Like this, you and I aren't just we're not just doing it for like Benita and Tara. It's like for all of humanity, we are clearing all of these shadows and blocks and thoughts. And yeah, money is like that deepest root, you know, of lack based everything. And it's just, oh, it's so beautiful because this just feels light to me.
It's so light and so it's always had a real clarity to it, except for those moments when, you know, the person had to go through like the layers of sort of the cleanse it. What was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the sense of being available to these types of leaps and jumping into something that, you know, could potentially have some stories attached to it. Every time any being does that, there's a clearing for more than just that being. And I sense it and feel it in so many different moments in my experience now. And so to realign to being of service to others through what might feel like a challenge to the person, like to Benita, who thinks she's Benita, doing this might feel challenging. But if I can tap into the fact that there might be some service provided in doing this, it just takes you out of your person and yourself immediately.
Yes. I'm sorry. I think because it's my phone is like needs to be charged, so I think that's why it's breaking up. Okay.
No worries.
Let me just see. I think we're.
I just plugged mine in too, so we're once again
Okay.
reflecting one another perfectly.
What's that? What did you say?
I also just plugged mine in because the battery was running low. So I said, once again.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That might be why we're like, yeah, I don't know. Let's see if it gets better. I just plugged mine in, so
Okay.
hopefully it will. Okay. Come on, technology, work with us.
It's still.
Yeah, it's still funky.
Well, maybe we should just wrap up there.
Yeah, maybe it's time to wrap up. I mean, it's been so beautiful. Just, you know, what we've talked about so far is beautiful. So thank you so much, Benita, for being here and your presence and sharing your story. It's so freaking powerful for people. It's going to help so many people. It already is. We already have cleared so much for the collective. So thank you for your service.
No, thank you for providing this space, and it's a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. You too, sis. I love you.
Thanks, Sarah. I love you too.
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.